Okay. Welcome, Funny. Welcome to Working Moms of Ahmedabad. We've started recording. We're live now. We'll soon be joined by viewers and members of our group. Um, uh, let's just wait for a minute. I see people coming online. Okay. Yeah. So just a couple of seconds, and then we can start. So
Sure.
people who are joining us, so Funny. Why don't I quickly tell you about the group? Of course. We Samiksha and I founded the group sometime last year, and it was founded because we felt that there are a lot of platforms available for mothers. That talked about their problems and they could share stuff and all of that, but there was nothing dedicated to working mothers. And both Samiksha and I are working mothers. We have daughters who are almost the same age. Both of us have 5-year-olds. So we when we talk to each other, we realize that we go through very different, our days are very different. We go through very different struggles as compared to some of the other mothers who probably are with their kids the whole day. So we go through the entire motion of feeling guilty that we are not there for our kid, and we're not doing enough, and all of these things. So we thought that maybe we needed a separate group for these mothers, where we could support each other, handhold each other, help each other, because we understood each other more. So, Funny, let's begin. For all of us, all of you who are watching us, Funny has been associated with environment and sustainability for the last 7 years. She runs a couple of ventures. Her latest venture is called Waste Engage, where she does a lot of work in recycling and upcycling. So, Funny, why don't you tell us something about yourself and Waste Engage, and what got you excited about, the environment and sustainability and all of that?
So I basically come from Andhra Pradesh, and I'm born and brought up here in Gujarat. And I was initially, after completing my MBA, I was working, and I wanted to go through the grind of being an employee. And back of the mind, I always knew I wanted to be an employer, an entrepreneur, because I wanted to be my own boss, and I also wanted to be the reason for the bread and butter of a few individuals who could be part of my team. So back of my mind, this is what always prompted me to quit my job and start a venture. Again, when it came to venture, it had to be something which had some element of giving back to the society while you make money. And therefore, somehow I think I got into the area of waste management because there were a lot of trigger points, like I couldn't see cows eating plastic bags, or I thought we've been blaming the urban local bodies enough, for not doing a lot of things. And we've not really been conscious and responsible ourselves. And not many women have really ventured into waste management. It has been male centric. It has been municipal corporations handling waste, especially the ones that we generate on a household level. So I saw a niche there, wherein we as a homemaker are the ones handling our kitchens and the waste. But you don't have more than 5 people all over India, working in the area of waste management. So then that's where I really thought of forming a venture, and I knew it would be difficult to break even because people still don't have a mindset to spend on waste management. So I knew I will have a lot of time bringing awareness, sensitization before I could even think of earning money. So with that in my back of my mind, against everyone's wishes in my family, I went ahead forming a venture, and eventually I applied for Startup India funds, and I made it, and I'm incubated at LJ Incubation Center, and those grants really helped me innovate and come up with prototypes which could handle waste at home, at a household level. So far so good. I've been doing well. I've been innovating. I've been sometimes just buying a few ideas from outside and trying to sell them. And only yesterday, very happy to share that I became a certified expert in climate change and environmental sustainability, because how much ever you have passion for climate change and environment, if you're not qualified or you're not an expert, no one's going to listen to you. And especially when it comes from CII, it will definitely hold a lot of value. So I really hope to take it further from here.
That's very nice, Funny. And now that you mention climate change and environment and recycling, could you, for the benefit of everyone, maybe talk a little bit about it? How, a lot of people say that how, me using plastic today is bringing on climate change. And, it's not just people like you and me. The most powerful person apparently a free world talks like that, right? They think that climate change is not real or it's not going to happen and that we can continue living the way we are living. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Firstly, plastic is a miracle product. It has entered our lifestyles only 50, 60 years back. And we've adopted it so well that now we have reached a stage where we are not able to give it up. So the moment we will try to remove it from our lifestyle, there'll be a resistance. So let's understand that we all know plastic pollution. It will take 500 years to degrade, but we won't be able to remove it at a certain level from our lifestyle. We will still need it because we know it is durable. Uh, we know that scientifically, if you undergo pyrolysis, you can create biodiesel out of it, so it can be recycled and put to good use. But plastic needs to be removed from very selective portions of our lifestyle, and that is where the sustainability and environment part comes in, which is at a portion where you are using it on a regular basis, which is your carry bags and your dustbin liners. So something which you know will reach a dump yard or a landfill site eventually should be avoided at our end. I'm not saying don't use a tumbler or a bucket made out of plastic. I'm just saying don't use those carry
Single
bags.
use.
Use,
Yeah.
these liners. Now, in fact, I wanted to be very clear that people are so fond of the word biodegradable
Yeah.
that when they decide to go green, they go and search the word biodegradable bags on Amazon. And what has happened is we are being faked with the use of this term. What we need to really buy is not biodegradable bags. To say that we are environmentally conscious individuals, we need to buy compostable bags,
Yeah.
something which will go back to nature in the form in which it had come to us. So, biodegradable is as bad as plastic bags. So, that's one thing I wanted to use this platform to reach out and let people know that don't get duped by this whole marketing gimmick around the word biodegradable bags. So this is what
Okay.
I wanted to say about plastic.
And how does that bring about climate change? How can one person sitting here in this country bring about climate change for the world?
So uh, if you think about climate as a whole, uh, greenhouse gases maintain the optimal temperature that human beings need to survive. So which is why we get seasons. We feel hot in summer, we feel cold in winter, we feel pleasant in a rainy season. So for those temperature related changes to happen, we need greenhouse gases in the environment. And it's just that when we burn plastic or when we release greenhouse gases which are through human interference. So plastic is made by human beings. When it is burnt, it releases greenhouse gases, and these greenhouse gases are such that they actually stay in the environment for a longer period than the natural greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide, water vapor, nitrous oxide. All these natural greenhouse gases need to be there, but because of the usage and burning part is where the CFCs, HFCs come into picture and keep the temperature higher. And that's why we see a temperature hike every year, or at least from 40 to 45 degrees. If you see that temperature rise came about very drastically. We didn't even realize when from 40 degree we used to feel it is so hot, and now it's 45 degrees and we are still not being so conscious that 5 degree बढ़ गया. So I think it's basically the burning and the improper treatment and the gases that they release when they are not disposed of scientifically is the cause of concern here. That is where it is causing climate to change and increase the amount of greenhouse gas than required in the environment, which is causing change in climate. I hope I wasn't very technical.
No, you weren't. And I think for everyone, whoever is watching the video and people who also watch it later, so a lot of our members don't come online right now, but throughout the day and tomorrow they are going to watch this video. So yeah, so for everyone, like Funny told us, we always feel that how can me using one extra straw or one extra dustbin liner bring about climate change? But that's the whole thing.
Sorry to interrupt you, but just one more thing. I've seen a lot of conscious mothers. They carry a cloth bag, saying that now I carry my own cloth bag because I'm conscious, and they put 10 vegetables in 10 different plastic bags in that cloth bag, and then they come home, and then they don't need to sort after that. So the plastic bag with the vegetable goes directly into the fridge, or it is removed. So what you're doing is, in the name of one cloth bag, you're getting 10 more plastic bags home. Just because from psychology that I have studied, women don't want to spend that time in segregation of vegetables. They just want to put it and get done with it. So that's again one other form of plastic waste. Getting 10 bags each day. That's a lot of bags in a month. Yeah.
No, so you're right. And in fact, I pride myself in being one of those moms, who are very conscious about the environment. And slowly I have been working towards it. I'm not completely there. Of course, in India, you can't completely shy away from single-use plastics, but simple things like I remember to carry my own bag, or I always remember. The other thing that I have always noticed is that the single-use plastic happens because we forget to carry water from home, and then you of course you feel thirsty, and then you end up buying a bottle. So for me and my daughter both, we made it a point that we will carry our bottles from home, and if at all we forget it, then we go thirsty. So we do away with the urge to buy a bottle, and then it's a lesson for us. So next time, then we remember to take our bottle. Similarly with single-use plastics in terms of straw. So there is nothing in this world that needs, you can't do without using a straw. So I think these are some of the things. But Funny, tell us, what are some other things that our mothers can incorporate in their day-to-day lives, or with their kids? How can they teach their kids to be more environment friendly, or just care for the environment more?
So for the mothers or adults, I want to say that we need to adopt this concept of do it yourself, DIY, big time, because it's not just about craft and craft or such extracurricular activities which should have that term associated with it. So DIY needs to come into picture big time when it comes to talking about environment. Secondly, like you do a basic course in art of living, or you go to learn swimming, or you want to learn meditation, you have to actually go and learn how to meditate, because you know everything about meditation, but when you sit down, you still are wandering. So similarly, what adults need to do is they all need to take up a basic course on environment, because there are so many myths around it, what to do, what not to do, what is good, what is bad, and then there's a lot of debate around it, what to use, what not to, and then there is a lot of the 4 R's that we all keep talking about. Yeah, I
Sorry, we
mean,
lost it. We lost it there
yeah,
for a
actually,
second.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. That one is the DIY thing. Second is doing courses on environment. Uh, Thirdly, all of us celebrate birthdays, but anything related to environment, we just think of 5th June, which is the Environment Day. So I think adults really need to also start remembering the dates and also start celebrating the other days in the whole year. Like on 16th of September, there is Ozone Day. Then on 22nd of March, there's World Water Day. Then on 22nd of April, there's Earth Day. So there are so many other days which we are not even aware of, but we just try and celebrate 5th June, and that's the end of our share of showing our concern for environment. So other than like birthdays, if parents start, making all these days also equally important, then I think in the true sense of Water Day, Earth Day, children will get an idea of what these Panch Mahabhutas are. How do we improve the air quality? How do we save water? Otherwise, or how do we save energy? Otherwise, it's just going to be one other day when some companies will celebrate in some institutions, and that will be the end of it. So I wanted to say this particularly about celebrating days, more often
Yeah.
related to environment.
Yeah.
Uh, in terms of water saving and energy saving, I wanted to say that for water saving, the first thing is go and get aerators from any hardware shop. They're called aerators, where you get that fog like water instead of direct water. So that saves 30 to 40% water that will come out every time you open a tap.
Okay.
And they cost you around 20 to 30 rupees. So you must fit them externally in every tap of yours. So,
Okay.
if you need actually 4 liters of water, when you turn on the tap, you're actually ending up using 10 liters, for example. So the aerators, AERATORS, that's
Okay.
one takeaway for water saving. And we must all be ready for rejecting our RO systems or not buying any, because the central government is going to come up with a notification. Had the COVID thing not happened, they were going to come out with it that if your water has TDS more than 500, only then can you fit RO. If it's less than 500, you cannot. It's banned now. It will be banned soon once we receive it. So this whole guilty feeling that we have about wasting water with the RO reject water, मैं उसका कुछ कर नहीं पाती हूँ, where do I use it and all, will slowly go away, because then you can't just have a fascination for a Kent RO or this arrow or that arrow. You just can't fit it if it is less than 500. So
And Funny,
that's just like, yeah.
just for our knowledge, what is the TDS content currently, let's say, in western region of Ahmedabad?
So I stay, but that depends on if you have bore water from a bore well. So I stay in the western region, but we have our own bore well, and the TDS is 750. So a lot of times
Okay.
people are also asking, mothers especially, how do I
Hmm.
find out what is my current TDS?
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
just ask one of the salesmen. They'll be more than happy to come, because, and then they'll check it for you. You don't end up buying, but you simply call them, let them come and do the hard work of testing your water, and let them tell you what your current TDS is. then it's of course you're not going to buy it. But this is how you check. You just call any RO salesman and they'll be more than happy to come and give you a home visit. That's how you should check it out. So anything that's mostly coming from the municipalities will have less than 500. But if it's your own borewell, then it is likely that it will be more than 500. So
Okay.
this is going to be mandatory now. So
Okay.
that was the thing I wanted to share on water.
Thank you.
On energy, I wanted to say that two things. One is we think that if we are not charging our phone and the switch is on, probably there is no power consumption because the cord and the phone are disconnected. So the circuit has been broken. So I'm not consuming power. But that's one area where children need to really uh, get up and say no, it consumes power. So here awareness plays a part. It still consumes power, and we generally leave it like that for 4 5 hours, especially in our offices, at home, because we don't bother. We don't know that it's consuming power. So that's one energy saving that every kid or a mother should be conscious about at home. And the second is about any AC. So because it's summer and we are using a lot of AC, there is an energy saver device made
Yes.
by a company called Airtron.
Okay.
It is world's one of its own kind. So you buy any brand, just get a Airtron energy saver attached to it. So it will not compromise with your room temperature and still save 35% energy for you just by attaching one device.
Okay. And
So
where can
try
we find
something.
it?
Huh? You can
On
buy it on,
Amazon?
yeah, yeah. Just Google up Airtron or Amazon, and you will see it's just an additional device you have to get attached while purchasing a new AC. You either tell the company. I think Hitachi is the only company now which is coming with a Airtron or some other such company with that device. So it automatically saves energy. 35% is a lot of energy savings. So these are the two things I wanted to share on energy savings. And uh, yeah, I think platforms like yours. What people want these days is recognition for having done something for the environment. So if you can empower mothers to be change agents, if you can recognize them for the effort that they are making on a religious basis, saving something. There are so many ladies who do so many things for years, which are actually best practices, but nobody has really taken note of it. So they are not really looking for any monetary benefit, but just recognizing them, calling them change agents on your platform, that can go a long way. I didn't get water. So that can go a long way in
Do you want
teaching
to
about
go with
sustainability.
water?
Yeah, I'll just go and get some water if that's okay.
So while Funny is gone, let me just quickly recap what all she talked about in terms of how we can make our homes more environmental conscious, and how can we inculcate the same in our kids. So, some very easy tips that she gave were switching off the switches while after you've charged your phone. There are times when we leave the switches on. Switching that off saves energy. Our ACs also, apart from, of course, the device that she suggested, our ACs also come with an inbuilt function which has an energy saving mode. So I think using that for all your ACs, especially because now, I'm also, like me, all of you are working from home. So we are consuming more AC than always. So using the energy saving mode might help. I was just recapping whatever you told us in the last question. And Funny, you also talked about some DIYs that we can do with our kids. Could you give us one example of any DIY that we can do?
With kids, the best thing to do is teach them kitchen waste composting because uh, I do it myself and my son is watching me. So, unless I pass it on as a lifestyle practice, which I do irrespective of whether he does it or not, these are the things that stay in our subconscious mind. You know, like मेरी मम्मी हमेशा ऐसे करती थी तो मैं भी ये करता हूँ. So that's what goes from generation to generation. When we do it not because we want to teach them, but we want them to observe it and subconsciously take note of the things that they should do. And number two, a child can easily do it in two pots, flower pots at home. And I always focus on the catalyst because it's not about the washing machine, but it's about the washing powder that's important in composting. So you get a lot of trust bin, smart bin, that you buy and then you get it, and that whole Josh it fades away in 6 months or 1 year max, and those bins are lying at home. So and when it comes to flower pots, suppose you lose interest, you pot a plant. But by using pots, what happens is one, they absorb the extra water that composting releases, and number two, they are easy to get anywhere. So you go to a nursery, you just follow a certain thumb rule of buying pots with a big mouth and a narrow bottom, not very tall, less tall, so that once you put waste in it, the mixing is easy. So the child doesn't feel that ये तो मेरे को नहीं आता है मम्मा इतना जड़ हो गया है मैं ऊपर से नीचे नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. And by having two, what happens is you have to do this for the whole month. So composting takes around 35 to 40 days, and you have to keep on putting your kitchen waste for a month. So you definitely need two pots. So I think that's the best thing they can do, and what they have to access from outside is the bioculture. And these days you get solid and liquid bioculture online, offline. Uh, so you can just keep getting that. Like a washing powder gets over, you just get it, right? So simply ask them to put it on their way on the waste, and the thumb rule would be 2:1. So this is what a child has to follow, that 2 times you put your dry waste and 1 time your wet waste. So dry waste could be anything like leaves, grass, पूजा किया, बहुत सारे flowers हैं उसमें, the grandparents are there and they do this every day, so वो कहाँ डालें? So you put that in this, and therefore, or if you can stock, कहीं पे किसी के यहाँ carpenter काम कर रहा है, तो भूसा बहुत पड़ा होता है नीचे, which they eventually throw away, or it's used for burning. So वो भूसा कलेक्ट कर लो, एक अपना खुद का स्टोर बना लो जहाँ फिनाइल, ये झाड़ू, ये पोछा सब कुछ रखते हैं. उधर कीप योर स्टॉक ऑफ सच sawdust and use all of this as your dry waste. तो 2 मुट्ठी ड्राई वेस्ट डाले तो 1 मुट्ठी आपका किचन वेस्ट का आ गया. The only rule here is 2:1, and second, shredding. So if you don't shred your waste, even a lemon won't decompose just like that. Just because you cut it into 2 halves and squeeze it doesn't mean that वो एकदम खाद अपने आप बन जाएगा. It will just decompose, soggy हो जाएगा, fungi आ जाएगी, लेकिन you won't feel that ये fertilizer बन गया है. So that is not happening because you have not shredded it into really small pieces. And when you make small pieces, what you're doing is you're feeding this to the living bacterial culture which is present in that catalyst. So it becomes easy for them to eat it up. And they eat it up, they convert it into compost, and your entire pile reduces in volume by just 25% is left. So by 75% the volume gets reduced at the end of the month. And then you just sieve it and then use it in your own plants. So unless the mother does it, the child is going to lose interest. So I think this is one thing I want to give away, that a DIY like this should help.
Thank you, Funny. In fact, that was one of my questions as well. Composting, and it will really help if you could also give us the. So you gave us the steps right now, and I think I understood it, but I could have missed a few. So maybe you could just give us these steps in writing also, and I can post it for the group later, so that we would want our mothers and our parents, fathers as well, and the kids to start composting at home. And I think it's easy, like you just mentioned. It didn't sound very difficult, so I think we should get started. So yeah, so I mean, any tips from you will help us in getting started.
And kids are copycats.
Yes.
They are the best copycats we can ever have. So I think a habit like this will go a very long way in passing it on for your future generations. Yeah.
Mm. Mm. Okay. Thank you. Funny, surprisingly, the half an hour is over. It was so much fun talking to you. I didn't realize when the time got over. But, before we sign off, I have just one last question. And that is, again, we hear a lot of terms being thrown around. There's recycling, upcycling, pre-cycling, there's sustainability, there's minimalism, ethical. What are these terms, and how different are they from each other? Because everything seems to be saving, if we follow any of these, we are saving the environment. So if you could just quickly tell us what some of these terms mean, I think it will help us and our members.
Sure. So the crux of all this is that reduce your consumption. So if you have what is it called? One transformer, one Beyblade, and you see two more in the shop. So the child asks for two more. So ऐसे करते करते 12, 13, 14, 15 Beyblades घर में होते हैं, and you don't know what to do with them. And the child loses interest eventually after 2-3 years. तो that is minimalism कि जितना है उसी को मैक्सिमम यूज करके उसी में से satisfaction. Be content with what you have received, instead of having that greed for more and more. Same applies to clothes. So that is minimalism. Live simply, simple living, high thinking wala funda. Then the other thing is about upcycling. So upcycling is, you don't change the form, but you just best out of waste. You just use it in such a way that you have created something new out of it. So using cloth, waste cloth, as a stuffing for making dolls, or for cutting it and making bags, something like that at home, for the cloth bags. So like we all made masks from our waste cloth, right, at home. So, and then we got so creative with it. So that is upcycling that we are already doing, right? Sustainability is such a long term wherein you have to be very conscious about how much are you extracting from nature or its resources, and then are you giving it back. So here I'll give an example that always differentiate between what is recyclable and what you buy. Does it have any recycled content in it? So suppose you buy something which is virgin, virgin plastic में से बना है या first time है. So always लेने से पहले think, will I be able to give this to somebody, and will that person be able to recycle it? If the answer is no, don't buy it. Number 2, lot of people sell things with lot of recycled content in it. For example, bamboo, bagasse, furniture made out of bagasse, which is waste, agricultural waste. So if you knew that this had 40%, 80% recycled content in it, or it is rapidly renewable. Bamboo, you can grow every 10 years. It grows very fast. It's not like teak wood, rosewood that it takes years. In 10 years, you have another set of bamboo in front of you to make furniture. So use such recyclable and things which have recycled content in them. So that is the first step towards sustainability. And once you do this, do it religiously. Don't stop it. That is also sustaining a habit, doing something for a long period of time without giving up is sustainability. So this is what all these different terms mean. Even recycling, I think, is the same thing. Will you be able to further disintegrate it and use it elsewhere? Is recycling.
Thank you. Thank you. Now that you mention it, I realize that, there are a few things that we keep doing, right? Play-Doh is something that's so easy for, especially for younger kids. You keep on buying and then it dries out and then you buy some more because it keeps the kids busy. But during the lockdown, I realized that the atta that we make at home, and if you add just a couple of drops of any color, you can make it in any color, and it's as good as the Play-Doh that the kids play with. Another thing that we don't think of before buying is books, because we think that at least my child is reading, and that is another thing that I feel. I personally, I'm a big reader, but I don't buy physical books. I only read ebooks, and a lot of people often tell me that, don't you miss the smell of the books, and don't you want to touch them? And I always tell them that it's giving me satisfaction that I'm not buying any more books, because I know how they are being made, how the paper is being made. So I think, and for kids, of course, we can't have them have a lot of exposure to e-books. But I think borrowing, that culture is completely gone these days, where we used to borrow books and recycle books within a group of friends. So I think these are small things that we can also teach our students, that you buy something collectively, you play, you pass it on to someone else, and you take their toy. Hopefully we'll soon have all of these things like toy libraries, and of course there are these things present, but what I mean is that more people will start using them. So thank you so much, Funny. I thoroughly enjoyed the discussion. I've got some very amazing tips from you, which I'm going to go back and use, especially composting. I think I'm definitely going to go back and start composting with my daughter. Thank you once again, and hopefully we'll see you, because this is a group for you as well. You're a working mother as well, so yeah. I mean, stay in touch. Thank you so much.
Yeah, any one last line that I can say? So the last line is, all mothers try to make a home out of a house, and then we call it home sweet home. So now is the time to make it home green home. So I think how to make a home green, one should learn about it. What are the features that I need to install so that I can call it a home green home? And that's the way towards sustainability. Yeah, that
Great.
was what I wanted to say.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank you
so
for
much.
having me.
Thank
Yeah,
you. Thank you for taking time out and giving our mothers such great tips. Thank you so much, and keep in touch.
bye.
Bye.